Hello viewers, welcome to Renew Media. This is the time for 20th Century Women movie review. Love and loss go hand in hand in 20th Century Women. A funny, emotionally piercing story about a teenager and the women who raised him. It opens in 1979, when cool kids danced to Talking Heads, This Ain't No Party, This Ain't No Disco, and President Carter bummed everyone out talking about our crisis of confidence. There's something in the air, or so it seems, although the California light here tends to blot out the shadows. When a car bursts into flames soon after the movie opens, it looks about as threatening as an art installation. Apocalypse later, man. The car belongs to Dorothea Fields, a thrilling Annette Bening, a divorced single mom with an only son, the teenage Jamie Lucas Jade Newman, in a heartbreakingly sincere turn. Mother and child live in Santa Barbara, that drowsy, well-heeled coastal city north of Los Angeles. There, Dorothea is raising Jamie in a roomy, stately 1905 fixer-upper that she's renovating with the help of a boarder, William Billy Crudup. Another lodger, an artist, Abby Greta Gerwig, helps keep their communal life jumping, as does Jamie's friend Julie L. Fanning, who likes to cuddle platonically with him at night, sharing secrets as he tries to keep his hormones and body from betraying him. The writer-director Mike Mills's last movie, Beginners, was a lightly comic, fictionalized weepie about his father, who came out of the closet in his mid-70s when his son was an adult. Now Mr. Mills has turned to his mother, in another fictionalized story, moistened with tears, that draws on his life. This time, though, he has turned back the clock for a portrait of his mother as she was when he was a teenager, and didn't yet entirely grasp her extraordinariness. Whether she was as remarkable as the woman on screen seems entirely beside the point. 20th Century Women is a memory movie, one in which people are conjured up to bump against the larger world, exuberantly and uneasily. The personal is the political, as second-wave feminists liked to say, and so it is in 20th Century Women. The politics sneak upon you, filtered through the intimate lives of its electrically alive characters. Jamie is the story's hub, the center from which everything and everyone ostensibly radiates, but Dorothea is its reason for being. She sets the pieces into place and motion. She's the inspiration and guiding spirit, the story's balm and soul. She's also the one who, after Jamie lands in the hospital after a heart-leaping, foolish stunt, enlists Abby and Julie to help raise Jamie. Dorothea's a with-it mom, from tousled hair to Birkenstocked toe, but she's also unsettled by the world. Abby and Julie assume their responsibilities seriously. Julie, who smokes like a Frenchwoman and reads Judy Blume, shares battle stories and wounds from the sexual front. Abby gives Jamie records and books, including Our Bodies, Ourselves, that liberatory classic about women's health and sexuality. It's an eye-opening for Jamie as Sisterhood is Powerful, the radical feminist anthology that he first opens with almost spiritual reverence, or is it trepidation? Later, when he explains the female orgasm to an acquaintance, one of those playground braggarts, the other guy pummels him. Jamie's sentimental education is also a kind of encounter session. It's a witty and loose coalition of like minds, complete with skateboarding, dancing, loving and lived-in talk. A lot of that chatter is humorous, often gentle and dry, on rare occasion uproarious. But there's also a powerful undertow of loss running through the movie. There are sorrows and tragedies, one involving a story thread that allows MS. Gerwig to root around in grief, and a scene in which she uncomfortably, hilariously, clears the room. For her part, MS. Fanning drifts in and out like a dream. Jamie's and Mr. Mills's a magnificent emissary from that seductive land called young and beautiful. You simultaneously see the girl Julie is and the girl that she's on the verge of leaving behind. For a memoirist, Mr. Mills is uncommonly generous. Abby, Julie and William, who sexily floats around the periphery, Mr. Crudup is superb at not quite stealing his scenes, are so persuasively detailed that all three could spin off into a separate movie. Each has both sting and tenderness nearing grace. Yet these three, and even Jamie pale next to Dorothea, who's satisfyingly complex, especially for a movie mother. Dorothea is at once laid back and uptight, which MS. Benning conveys with moments of shambling, gestural looseness, and sudden emotional spikiness. She floods the screen with warmth, threatens to burn the joint down and, with Mr. Mills, turns contradictions into character. Mr. Mills roots around Dorothea's unease, but never quite figures it or her out, which deepens the movie. People are mysterious, and parents are too, partly because you never really catch up to them. So you take stock, stare at family photographs, and sift through mementos. Mr. Mills does something similar narratively as he samples the era's music, signposts and shards, all while circling Dorothea. Fittingly, given the title, in 20th Century Women, he also situates her in history. The character is named after the photographer Dorothea Lange. My mom was born in 1924, Jamie says in voiceover early, as the screen fills with black and white footage of period despair. Those ghostly images stick with you, even after the story lightens. Mr. Mills has worked in graphic design and as a music video director, and while setting up the story he folds in snapshot-like scenes from Jamie and Dorothea's origin stories, from a ravishing oceanic opening shot to her depression roots, him as a grasping newborn infant, and Gerald Ford stumbling. There's a kind of restlessness in the way these images pile up, to the movie's accumulation of album covers, its books, snatches of jazz, and glimpses of Humphrey Bogart making love to Ingrid Bergman. It's as if Mr. Mills were riffling through an encyclopedia, searching for the perfect entry, which he's creating before your eyes. At the last we are gives the rating is 4.5, and movie is very very good. Please subscribe our channel for correct reviews, and remember our channel is Review Media.